Hello, everyone. Welcome to ML 100 Foundations of Meditation course. My name is Dr. E, and thank you for taking the journey with me on this new meditative practice. We're going to talk a lot about some of the different things you're going to be doing in the course, but before then, if you have any questions, even after this video, be sure to reach out to me at office@strategicladies.com. I don't want you to feel solo, even though this is an online course. Sometimes people get off track. Just reach out to me and I'll bring you back into the space. So the purpose of this course is to orientate you onto what to expect in this learning module system. We're using LearnDash as a learning module, and you'll just be going on that. And you probably have already done that if you're listening to this module to get acclimated to the course. So, the Foundation of Meditation course, I created this course for a couple of reasons. I found that in my journey as a meditative practitioner, as well as a uh, doctorate student, when I took on trying to do my research on meditation, I found that many people have many misconceptions about meditation or conceptions about it. People didn't realize there's different types. People were unfamiliar about the history of meditation, and just there were a lot of uncertainty. Is this a spiritual practice, or is this more of a scientific practice? So I'm going to try to alleviate all of that. In addition to that, making sure that you stick to a meditation goal and that you do it in your life, because there are a tremendous amount of benefits to it that you'll see as you continue to practice. So I'm going to introduce you to core principles, and I'm going to also have you practice. And then I'm also going to find out a way, or hopefully help you work towards sustaining the practice once you learn some of the techniques, the how to set rituals, which you'll learn a little bit about, I think, in this module, and also how you also are intentions, those type of things. So this is a course on self-discovery. There are a lot of objectives in the course. The first one is assess where you are in your mindful living readiness. And when I did the assessment, I did this thinking about certain elements of what it means to be ready for meditative practice. So I designed that particularly for that. Take that assessment, and then you'll be able to figure out where you are. There's no wrong or right answer. Be truthful. It doesn't make you a better meditator than someone else, but it just gives you an idea of areas of opportunities that you can work toward. So you're going to take the assessment that's in this module. You're going to understand the role of mindset, perception, and emotional intelligence, all key to building self, all key to showing other people's, they say perception is reality, but what is their perception? Why do they think like that? Why is growth mindset versus a fixed mindset very important? You can learn all about that. You're going to discover some of the history and the types and the benefits of meditation. I mentioned earlier there's a lot of misconceptions and conceptions about it. We're going to work through those. We're going to learn the science behind it. At one point, again, meditation was more of a spiritual practice, but now there's a lot of science, and some people don't even have spirituality in the whole thought process while they're meditating. And also, we talked about sustainability and how you're going to sustain the practice. And we're going to do that through applying techniques like grounding, a ground technique that I developed, and my co-founder. We're going to talk about breath work. We're going to talk about intentions and rituals. Those are the things that help you sustain a practice. So what does the course look like, as well as how I formatted it? I wanted to make it as simple as possible. I say it's 14 days. Believe me, this course can be done quickly or at your own pace. One thing that I will encourage you to do, though, is that even if you don't take all the course materials within a month or so, make sure that you do the practices every day. Daily meditation in order to be able to practice, you really need to do that. And if that means just focus attention and just a breath work for a few minutes, that's meditation. And we'll learn about that too, how situational meditation really makes a difference and not overwhelming you with thinking, I have to do 10 minutes or I have to do 15 minutes. It's all about the situation. Again, it's self-paced online, And there's course topics that you'll have, and in those topics, there's activities that you'll have to do. So the topics will be watch, where I'll give you a short video or a PowerPoint or a guided audio. There's also going to be a read. You're going to read something in relationship to the topic and the objective of that module. And then you're going to complete something. And that completion is a real important part because most of those completion elements of the topics of the module has to do with completing a meditation or looking at a meditation. And I'll guide you with this and I'll help you with it because you have access to our situational meditation library. And that's on the site where you'll be logging into your course. Now, I encourage you, and I give you other meditations to do. I encourage you to do that. Ultimately, we will be bringing other instructors in to give you a diversity of meditation types. But right now, it's just me, and I'm hoping you enjoy it. But feel free to go to Insight Timer, go to Calm, and I use those as an area that you can go to pick a practice, and also just breathe, just breathe. Now, there are two books that go along with this course. There's a situation on meditation journal, and there's a situational meditation theory and practice book. The theory and practice book is where you're going to learn about the history of meditation. Whereas a journal is what you need to use to log down everything. Journals are healing. If you use your journal, I guarantee you, you will look back on that journal. I can't tell you how many countless times I've looked back on my writing and said, wow, that was profound. Why can't I apply that today? And it gave me that niche and that hit that triggered to start applying what I did years ago. So you'll have those. You'll also have access, and I mentioned this before, to our situational meditation library. And that is broken down into three areas that I focus on in my practice, and that's faith-based, organizational, and mindful living. So you can choose between which ones you want to listen to, which one speaks to you, and there's meditation practices for that. Also, the ground methodology, I'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's my co-founder and I developed that during our graduate program as we found that we wanted to have a methodology that spoke to us about change. And it's kind of a change model. There's different types of change models out there, but we decided to use this one and develop this one, and it's really helped us with our meditative practice. And then the bonus is a 30-day post course maintenance calendar, which will help keep you on track and continue the practice. They say it's 30 days to change a habit, so I encourage you to stick with those 30 days, and I guarantee you it's a wonderful world of meditation and contemplation. So I mentioned the assessment, the mindful readiness assessment, or it's the evaluator. This evaluator looks at mindful awareness, looks at your mindset. Remember, I talked about fixed and growth mindset. They do this a lot in K through 12, where students are, if they have a fixed mindset, if they fail, they don't want to do anything else. But if they have the growth mindset, they're kind of motivated by, okay, I didn't quite get that. Let me try harder. So we want you to be in the growth mindset. We're going to also look at perception. You've heard the topic or the slogan, "Perception is reality." Well, why is that? Why is perception important? And then emotional intelligence, we know about that. We need to be an emotionally intelligent human being, so we're able to deal with ourselves as well as others. And then we'll talk about the situational lifestyle readiness, and that's when you'll get your score. Now, when we talk about assessments, my big pet peeve is that assessments are no good unless some time is put toward change. So if you identify an opportunity in an assessment, it's not a judgmental thing. Just take the time to build on that opportunity to make things better or help others do that. I always believe in giving back. So again, you're going to have different scores in this. High, of course, means that you are really ready for practice. You're probably already practicing. You have this mindful type of mentality in your relationships with people. And that might just mean that when you're in a meeting, you're engaged, you're focused versus distracted by the clutter in your mind. So we're going to talk about that. And then, of course, moderate and then there is areas below that has you have an exploration phase where you need to just work on things a little bit better. Again, not a judgment call. It's just about an opportunity to even get better than you already are. So the modules, you'll have 7 modules. You're in the first one now. You're listening to this orientation video. Welcome again. And then you'll have that self-discovery component where you're going to take the MRE, the Mindful Readiness Evaluator, and you're going to be taking that assessment. And then you're going to module 2, which is history types of meditation, which I told you there's a lot of conceptions and misconceptions. Then you're going to learn the science of meditation, the history, and how it benefits you. How meditation has been shown to change brain structure and help you in your cognitive abilities. It's amazing. The science has been put forth in people that meditate, even health benefits, change in stress, change in breathing capacity. It's just amazing. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to meditate. And again, I mentioned the ground, and we're going to talk more about how to set your practice. And we're going to talk about situational meditation. A lot of times people think they have to be in the moment or somewhere particular. They have to be still in a chair or uh, legs flat, whatever, you can meditate in any situation, lying in bed, ready for sleep, anything. Okay. And then we're going to talk about that. And then lastly, we're going to talk about integration, reflection, and certification because there's a certificate that can go along with this program. So moving into the certificate, um, you will have at the beginning of the download in the course, you should see there is a download area where you can actually download some of the handouts. And one of the handouts is our certification guide and course checklist. If you're interested in a certification, I encourage you to look through that checklist and make sure you're checking the boxes of everything you've completed in the modules. Many times people come to me as fitness instructors, as holistic health practitioners, organizations that want certificates and continue education. And they take this to their employer, or they take this to their fitness center or the yoga studio, and they get credit for that. If you need those CUs and those continuing education credits, I will give you a certificate for that. But I need to have shown competencies in certain areas, and that means I'll need you to take do this checklist, turn your journals in, and then you'll be able to later get the certificate. It can usually takes 2 weeks to 2 months maybe to get the certificate. So plan ahead. It just all depends on the amount of people that take the course at any given time. Upon completion of the class, you'll get the certificate and be awarded it. And it is good for 2 years. And all you have to do is after the 2 years, pay the $50 renewal fee and then just go in and take a module on the site, and that will give you a renewal. And usually that module has to do with revisiting an area of learning and maybe some of the benefits that meditation is doing now, or some of the new techniques, or how it's something that's changed or something that's even enhanced the practice. So with that, we are at the end of the learning as far as orientation. I do want to encourage you to commit to the course and to the practice. It is amazing the benefits you'll feel, and people will see in you once you apply change. Course access is, again, this is fully online, non-refundable course, so be sure you're ready to commit before taking it, which you already have because you've already enrolled. Getting started. Check your email after registration and you'll get the login details. This is also already given to you because you're in the course, most of you. Tech requirements, you just make sure you have a good internet because it's going to require that. And any support you need, just reach out to me. Again, my email is office@strategicladies.com, and you can reach out to me. And lastly, and as importantly in all of this, is that we have a community here. Strategic Ladies has a mindful community, and we encourage you to join our quarterly uh, sharing circles or quarterly meetings. I like to call them meetings, but they're meetings that help you just talk about your experiences, maybe share something that's profound for you, learn something new. We'll try to have guest speakers sometimes come in. But please join our community, and we'll be able to give you information post course on some of the great things that are happening in meditation and within our community. And I'll provide you with the details of this post course completion. So again, thank you so much. I'm happy and so happy to be a part of this experience and joining you in this journey. I look forward to seeing you at the end of the course. And thank you again, and have a great rest of your day.